I am about to restore the exact thing you thought was gone forever. Do not scroll past this. If you walk away right now, you will leave behind the very portion that was kept safe for your hands alone. You will spend another year mourning a loss that is already on its way back to you. I am telling you this because the time of waiting is finished. I saw the exact day you decided to stop asking for it. You were standing in a quiet room, and you simply let the dream drop. My beloved child, you let it go because hoping for it had started to hurt far more than accepting the loss. You built a wall out of lowered expectations, and you called it reality. I watched you do it. I did not judge you for it. I am moving things in the unseen right now to bring it back. Nothing can stop what I have already set in motion for you. Stay with me through this message. You will understand why it had to be hidden for a season. You will feel the heavy armor finally fall off your tired chest, and you will know exactly what to do when the restoration arrives at your door. Before I show you the rest, I need to know you are paying attention. If you are still here, let me know it with one word. Type Amen in the comments below to show you are listening. Do not sit in silence anymore. Taking one small action breaks the grip of the apathy that has been trying to hold you down. Let us talk about what happened after you gave up. You stopped talking about the thing you lost. When people asked about your future, you smiled, a polite smile, and gave them a safe answer. You became very good at pretending the empty space did not matter, but your body knew the truth. Your shoulders carried the tension of a person who is constantly bracing for another blow. You thought you were just being practical. You told yourself you were growing up and learning to live with disappointment, but that is not what was happening underneath the surface. You were actually entering a state of spiritual hibernation to survive the winter. And now that protective shell is the very thing keeping out the warmth of the new season. There is a profound reason why it was taken out of your hands for a while. It was not a punishment, it was a preservation. Stay with me to the end of this hour. I am going to reveal the exact name of the thing that was stolen. I am going to show you where it has been kept. Do not look away. The explanation is going to change how you see your entire past. I want to take you back to the day you surrendered the hope. It was not a day filled with loud crying or dramatic scenes. It was an ordinary Tuesday or Wednesday. You were doing something simple like washing dishes or driving home from work, and a quiet, heavy realization settled over you. You whispered to yourself that it was never going to happen for you. You made a silent agreement with defeat right there in the car. You looked at the years slipping by, and you did the math in your head. You concluded that you had missed your window. The people around you kept receiving their breakthroughs, and you learned how to clap for them while your own hands remained empty. You clapped while your heart was slowly breaking. I know exactly how exhausting that performance is. It takes a massive amount of energy to act like you do not care about the thing you want most in the world. You wake up tired because your soul is working the night shift to keep the grief locked in the basement. You are not weak for feeling this fatigue. You are simply carrying a burden that was never meant to be permanent. Nobody in your house knows how hard you fight just to stay neutral. They see you managing the bills and making the meals and keeping the schedule intact. They assume you are fine because you are functioning. But functioning is not the same thing as living. You have been surviving on the bare minimum of hope just to make sure you do not crash again. The truth is that you are terrified of wanting it again. If you let yourself desire the restoration and it does not come, you do not think you could survive the fall. The ground is too hard and you have hit it too many times, so you stay numb. Numbness feels safe. But numbness is also a prison, and I did not create you to live inside a locked room forever. That day you gave up was not the end of the story. It was merely the end of your own strength. When human striving finishes, my deep work finally begins. You stepped out of the way without realizing you were making room for me. The silence you have been living in is not an empty void. It is a crowded workshop, and the thing being built inside it is almost ready for the light. Let us look closer at the symptoms of this long wait. You have stopped praying the bold prayers. You only ask for small things now, things that will not hurt too much if they do not arrive. You ask for a quiet day instead of a joyful life. You ask for enough provision to survive instead of asking for true abundance. You have shrunk your faith to fit your pain. Do not close your hands yet. I know how many times you have told yourself that you failed me, and you look back at the moment you stopped believing and you call it a terrible sin. You think your faith was too weak to sustain the waiting, That is what the noise of the world wants you to believe. But that is not how I view your heart at all. I see the bruised places you are trying to protect. Letting go of that dream was not a rebellion against my plan. It was a reflex of a deeply wounded spirit. A person who pulls their hand away from a burning fire is not acting out of malice because they are simply trying to survive the intense heat. You pulled your heart away from the promise. The waiting had become a fire. You were just trying to survive. I was in the room on the exact day you gave up. You thought my silence meant I had abandoned the project. You assumed the closed door was a final rejection. But let me tell you the absolute truth about that painful afternoon. It was not the day you lost your faith. It was the day your heart reached its absolute limit. I did not turn away from you in disgust when you stopped asking. I sat down right next to you on the floor. I watched you pack away the hopes and the plans, and I saw you carefully lower your expectations so you would never have to feel that crushing weight again. You thought I was angry. I was only moved with a massive compassion. People have told you that you just need to pray harder. They gave you easy formulas and empty cliches. They told you that your lack of belief is the reason the blessing has not arrived. And that is a heavy lie that I want off your shoulders right now. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to manufacture a fake enthusiasm. You have been carrying a tremendous guilt over your own numbness. You feel guilty for feeling nothing. You force yourself to say the right words in prayer, but the words feel like dry dust in your mouth when you finally speak them. Stop pretending for me. I prefer your honest numbness over a fabricated joy. I can work with your honesty. I understand the mechanics of your defense system. You built it out of shattered expectations. Every time a promise fell through, you added another stone. Now the wall is very thick, and you truly believe that this barrier is keeping you completely safe from experiencing any further harm. But the wall is blocking the light. The new season cannot reach you. I am not going to violently tear your wall down. I do not force my way into the guarded places of your heart. I am standing outside and I am calling you by your true name, because the protection you built has finally outlived its usefulness. It is time to step out. The weather outside has changed. You were hiding in the dark. There is a specific door you kept banging on for years. You wept when it would not open. You begged me to turn the handle. And when it remained firmly shut, you walked away feeling entirely rejected. But I need you to look back at that door with brand new eyes today. What you called a devastating rejection was actually a profound protection. If I had opened that door when you demanded it, the thing behind it would have crushed you. You were not ready to carry the weight of that room, and the beautiful blessing would have quickly turned into a terrible and unmanageable burden. I kept the door locked. I loved you too much. The lock was a shield. I want you to make a declaration today. Speak to that old disappointment and give it its proper name. You do not have to understand every detail yet, but you only need to acknowledge that my hands were holding the lock the entire time. Type, "The door was mercy." If you are ready to stop fighting it, let the comments be a record of your surrender. Writing those words is a massive step of release. It signals to your own soul that the war is over. You do not have to keep wondering why it did not work out the way you originally planned, because the destination required a totally different route. You are no longer a victim. You are fiercely protected. You are my child. Let the grief of that old season finally run its course. You are allowed to mourn the things that did not happen. Cry the tears you have been swallowing down for the last 3 years, but do not unpack your bags and live in the dark valley of that grief. The morning has an expiration date. The morning light is breaking. You have been so focused on what you lost that you have not checked your own hands. Look at what you are holding right now. You are holding a quiet strength that only comes from walking through the fire, and the flames only burned away the things tying you down. You survived. You are still standing. You are ready for the next step. You have been walking around with this empty feeling. You look at the things that were removed from your life, and you only see the absolute absence. The silence in your house feels incredibly loud sometimes. You sit there, and you wonder why your prayers seem to bounce right off the ceiling. You feel completely overlooked. I need to speak directly to the silent years you have endured. You watched others receive their answers quickly. You saw people who did not even pray get the exact things you were begging for. And every time it happened, a small piece of your hope withered away. You started to believe that you were somehow disqualified. You told yourself a very damaging story about that silence. You concluded that you were being punished for past mistakes. You thought your faith was simply too flawed for me to respond. My beloved child, that is a cruel lie. I do not operate on a system of karmic punishment. I am a father. Your delays were never a sign of my displeasure. The rejection you faced was not a verdict on your personal value. If I wanted to punish you, I would simply leave you to your own devices. But I did not leave you. I stayed right there in the middle of your profound disappointment. I was working in the dark. Here is the absolute truth about the season you just survived. Silence and refusal are completely different things. You asked me to fill your cup. But I looked at your cup and saw that it was far too small to hold the incredible weight of what I was preparing. If I poured it then, it would have shattered you. A small vessel cannot contain an ocean of blessing. The waiting period was never about ignoring you. It was entirely about expanding your capacity to hold the massive restoration that is coming. I am going to name this process so you can finally understand it. This is the deepening vessel. It hurts to be stretched. When you lose something you love, a giant void is left behind. You experience that empty space as pure agony. But in the spiritual realm, an empty space is actually a vast canvas for a brand new creation. I had to hollow out the old assumptions. I had to clear out the toxic dependencies. I needed room to work. Every tear you cried was actually digging the well deeper. Every night you felt abandoned was widening your internal capacity to receive. You thought you were breaking down. You were actually breaking open. The vessel had to be cracked so it could be remade into something far stronger. You are completely ready now. Now look back at those silent years with me. They were not wasted time at all. You were not wandering aimlessly through a punishing desert. You were being meticulously formed into a person who can handle enormous joy without letting it ruin your character. The pain was real, but the purpose behind it was beautiful. Think about the things you can endure today that would have crushed you 5 years ago. You have acquired a profound resilience. You no longer need the validation of people who do not truly know you. That massive freedom was purchased during the years of silence. You did not lose those years. You invested them. The people who left your life were part of this expansion. They walked away because they could not stand inside a house that was still under heavy construction. Their departure felt like a terrible betrayal at the time, but their absence is exactly what gave me the necessary floor space to rebuild your foundation. I want you to change how you talk about that silent season. Stop calling it the time you were forgotten. Start calling it the time you were prepared. When the negative thoughts try to convince you that you are behind schedule, you must violently reject them. You are exactly where you need to be. You do not have to perform a massive ritual today. I only ask for one simple shift in your perspective. Before you go to sleep tonight, look at your empty hands and thank me for the massive space. Do not ask for the blessing just yet. Simply acknowledge that the deepening vessel is finally complete. The restoration is no longer a distant possibility. It is actively moving toward you right now. You have done the incredibly hard work of staying alive through the bitter winter. Now you must prepare your heart to actually receive the spring. You have to believe that the good things are safe to hold again. The next thing I tell you will change how you see tomorrow. I am going to show you exactly what is coming to fill that widened space. Do not close this message. You have survived the painful preparation. Now you need to hear about the massive harvest. Stay with me. You look at the calendar and your heavy heart just sinks. You count the years that have quietly slipped through your fingers, and when you see other people moving forward, a quiet panic starts to rise in your chest. You smile and you kindly congratulate them. But inside, you are calculating how far behind you really are. You feel like you completely missed your train. You sit in your quiet room and replay your old decisions. You wonder which specific turn took you off the main road. The grief over lost time is far heavier than the grief over lost things. You can always replace a house or a job, but you cannot buy back a single wasted year. That terrible thought keeps you awake at night. You stare at the ceiling and you just cry. You have told yourself a very specific story about this long delay. You believe you ruined your own timeline because you made a terrible mistake. You think you wandered out of my will, and now you are paying the penalty. My beloved child, you need to hear me very clearly today. You did not ruin anything at all. You are not being penalized. The enemy wants you to deeply believe that your best days are dead. He wants you to drown in the toxic waters of deep regret. If you are busy mourning the past, you cannot possibly prepare for the massive thing that is arriving. I am entirely rejecting your self-condemnation. Your beautiful timeline is completely intact. I am still holding the pen. I want to show you the absolute truth about those missing years. Time spent in the dark is never time wasted. The seed must sit in the cold dirt before it can ever break the surface. I am going to name this process so you can finally understand it. This is the hidden season. It looks like a barren graveyard, but it is actually a divine incubator. A rapid success would have utterly destroyed the character you needed to sustain it. If I had given you the massive blessing 3 years ago, your foundation would have cracked under the immense pressure. I had to let you sit in the quiet. I had to let the roots grow incredibly deep before the branches could safely reach the sky. Now look back at those quiet years with a totally different lens. You thought you were just wandering aimlessly through a barren wasteland. You were actually gathering the essential tools for the very next chapter. Every failure taught you how to survive a terrible storm. Every rejection thickened your skin and softened your beautiful heart. The people who received their easy victories do not have your profound depth. They will panic when the wind blows because they never had to learn how to stand in a hurricane. You know exactly how to stand. You learned it while you were crying alone on your bedroom floor. That incredible resilience is going to be your greatest asset. The things you thought were completely lost were simply put in storage. I was keeping them safe while you grew strong enough to properly handle them. You did not miss the incredible opportunity. The opportunity was waiting for you to become the person who could properly steward it. I have protected your future from your own impatience. You are being hidden away on purpose. When a master builder is creating his finest work, he keeps it covered until the perfect moment of reveal. You felt totally invisible to the world. You were actually covered by my own hand. I was doing a delicate surgery on your soul, and that kind of work cannot be done in front of a loud crowd. So I want you to change your posture right now. Stop looking at the calendar with that heavy and bitter dread. The calendar does not dictate my movements. You do not have to hustle or strive or panic to make up for the lost time. I am the sole author of time. I can restore a decade of loss in a single afternoon. Do not doubt my reach. I am asking you to do one physical thing today. Take a deep breath and physically drop your heavy shoulders. Stop trying to figure out how to catch up to the people around you. You are running a completely different race. Your only job today is to remain steady and keep your eyes entirely fixed on me. The race is already won. Speak to that anxiety when it tries to choke you tonight. Tell it that your season of preparation is finally coming to a close. You do not have to strive for the blessing, because the blessing is already hunting you down. You are standing on the very edge of the most beautiful season of your entire life. Get ready to walk. The restoration is coming faster than your mind can even process. You are about to step out of the shadows and into the blinding light. But before you do, there is a specific trap you must absolutely avoid. Many people ruin their own breakthrough because they do not recognize the signs. Keep listening to me right now. You have learned to expect the absolute worst. You protect your tired heart by assuming nothing good will actually stay. You think this cynical outlook is just emotional maturity. But it is not maturity, because you are actually bleeding out. And every time a small blessing arrives, you immediately look for the hidden trapdoor before you even say thank you. You are completely exhausted by your own constant vigilance. I see how tightly you grip your own life. You squeeze every situation because you are terrified of another sudden loss. But a closed fist cannot receive the beautiful things I am trying to pour into it. You must understand the specific name of this heavy armor you are wearing. This defense mechanism is called the guarded hope. It feels like absolute safety, but it is actually a slow suffocation. Now I want to take you somewhere completely different. Come with me to a morning about 6 months from now. It is a very ordinary Tuesday, and nothing spectacular has been announced. You wake up before your daily alarm sounds. Your bare feet hit the cold wooden floor. The smell of fresh coffee fills the small kitchen while you hold the warm mug in your hands. And your chest is perfectly calm as you watch the sunrise. I want you to really notice what is missing from that quiet room. The heavy dread of the past few years is completely gone. You do not immediately check your phone to see if a new disaster has occurred overnight. You do not rehearse defensive conversations in your head while you wash the simple cups. The suffocating anxiety that used to follow you everywhere is simply not there anymore. You are standing in the sunlight and you actually believe the day will be good. That peaceful version of you is not a distant fantasy. She is a real person and she is already breathing. That person is standing right on the other side of your terrified grip. The distance between you and that beautiful morning is not measured in time. It is measured entirely in your bold willingness to finally let things go. So do not try to fix everything before you go to sleep tonight. I am only asking you for one tiny surrender. Say out loud that you are tired of wearing the heavy armor. Drop your tired shoulders and intentionally release your tight jaw. Just tell me you are ready to be surprised by joy once again. That simple, honest sentence is the exact key that unlocks the door to the morning I just showed you. Now we must talk about the massive shift that is happening around you. I told you that the restoration is moving toward your house right now. You cannot see it with your physical eyes just yet. You only see the old dust and the broken pieces of your past seasons. But my deep work does not require your immediate visual confirmation to be absolutely true, because I am always working underground where human eyes cannot reach. Something massive is shifting in the unseen realm on your behalf. The beautiful pieces you thought were scattered forever are being carefully gathered. I am actively aligning conversations that you do not even know about. I am moving the hearts of people who will suddenly favor you for reasons they cannot even explain. The heavy lifting is already done, and your season of striving is over. You just need to hold your ground and trust the quiet process. You have prayed for a tiny trickle of water to survive the drought. You asked me for just enough strength to drag yourself through another miserable week. I heard those desperate prayers and I caught every single tear you cried into your pillow. But I am not going to answer you with a mere trickle of water. That small answer would completely insult the incredible depth of the vessel we just spent years building. I am preparing a profound flood of restoration for your entire household. It will wash away the bitter residue of the long years the locusts ate. It will rush into the dry crevices of your tired soul and bring dead things violently back to life. You will not have to beg for it or strive to make it arrive. It will find you exactly where you are sitting today, but you must be ready to recognize it when it finally knocks. Restoration rarely looks like the original thing you tragically lost. If I simply handed back the old situation, you would repeat the exact same heartbreaking cycles. I am bringing you something substantially better, and it will carry a vastly different shape. It will require a totally different posture of receiving from you. You must keep your spiritual eyes completely open. The enemy is terrified of the powerful person you are about to become. He knows that a restored soul is the most dangerous weapon in my kingdom. He will try to distract you with petty arguments and sudden inconveniences this week. He desperately wants you looking down at the dirt instead of watching the sky. I need you looking up at the horizon because the season is changing. The rain is gathering and the heavy clouds are rolling in. Do not let the loud noise of the world steal your focus right now. People will try to pull you into their toxic drama and pointless conflicts. Turn away from it and protect your quiet spaces fiercely. The incoming miracle requires a very calm environment to land safely. If you clutter your mind with worthless anxieties, you will miss the gentle whisper of my specific instructions. I am building a tremendous anticipation inside your tired spirit. You can feel it right now as you listen to my voice. It is that strange fluttering in your chest that you have not felt in a decade. That is the dead hope stubbornly springing back to beautiful life. Let it grow and do not crush it with your practiced cynicism. You are fully allowed to be excited about the incredible things I am doing for you. Share this message with one person who desperately needs to know they are not forgotten. Send it to them and tell them exactly why they came to your mind today. That small act of love might be the exact lifeline they have been praying for. You have been sensing the shift for a few weeks now. You cannot explain it to anyone else because there is no physical evidence to show them yet. But inside your own spirit, The heavy dread has started to lift, and a strange anticipation has quietly taken its place. You wake up and you feel like you are waiting for a very important guest to arrive. You are not imagining this profound change in the atmosphere. The spiritual temperature is rising. This is exactly how it feels right before the massive dam breaks. The water pushes against the concrete for years, and the concrete holds strong until one ordinary afternoon. Then a single hairline fracture appears, and the entire structure gives way in a violent rush. You have been staring at the concrete wall for so long that you forgot the water was still there. I am telling you, the fracture has already formed. The pressure has reached its absolute limit. Do not mistake this sudden quiet for abandonment. When an army is preparing to march, the camp goes completely silent right before the first command is shouted. The noise you used to hear was the sound of your own frantic striving. The silence you hear now is the sound of heaven drawing its breath. You are standing in the sacred pause right before the miracle drops. Do not let the silence make you doubt the process. I want you to think about the specific thing you convinced yourself you could live without. You packed it away in a very safe box, and you put the box in the attic of your mind. You told me that you were fine without it, and you even thanked me for teaching you how to be content with less. You were very brave and very noble to surrender it, but your surrender did not cancel my original promise. The enemy told you that giving up the dream was a sign of true spiritual maturity. He convinced you that wanting the restoration was somehow selfish and unholy. That is a devastating lie wrapped in religious language. I did not put that deep desire in your heart just to mock you with its permanent absence. The desire itself is the prophecy. The hunger you feel is the absolute proof that the bread actually exists. I am pulling the box down from the attic right now. I am wiping off the thick layer of dust you allowed to settle on it. You thought the contents were dead and rotting because they had been locked away for so long. You are afraid to even look inside because the memory of the original loss still burns. Look at me. You do not have to be afraid of this box anymore. The contents did not die in the dark. I am doing a completely new thing, and it is springing up right in front of your tired eyes. You have been looking backward, trying to find the pieces of your old shattered life. Stop looking at the wreckage of the past decade. You cannot build a beautiful new house using the charred wood from the fire that nearly killed you. Turn around and face the brilliant horizon. I am giving you brand new materials. Let me address the deep resistance rising in your mind right this second. I know the exact thought you are wrestling with because I see the heavy gears turning in your head. You are thinking that you have heard this all before. You are remembering the 3 times you let yourself hope and the 3 times you were utterly crushed. I know you are terrified to trust my voice today. Your caution is completely understandable. You are desperately trying to protect yourself from another catastrophic disappointment. You think that by expecting nothing, you will somehow survive the next inevitable blow. I am not angry at your hesitation. I am deeply moved by the scars you are trying to hide. But hear the massive difference today, my child. You are no longer dealing with human promises. You are dealing with my absolute sovereign decree. Human beings promise you the world, and then they walk away when the heavy lifting begins. They offer you cheap comfort, and then they change their minds when the circumstances shift. I do not operate like the people who broke your fragile trust. When I speak a thing into existence, the entire universe must instantly rearrange itself to make room for my word. The restoration is not a mere possibility. It is a guaranteed collision. The time for waiting has officially expired. The season of agonizing preparation is completely finished. You have endured the brutal winter, and you did not curse my name in the bitter cold. Now the spring is not just gently arriving. It is violently kicking down your front door. I am tearing up the old blueprint of your life, and I am unrolling a massive new design right on your kitchen table. You need to prepare your physical space for the incoming harvest. Clear out the clutter of the old toxic relationships that only drained your precious energy. Stop holding on to the ragged clothes of your former poverty. You cannot wear the garments of a slave when you are about to step into the royal court. Throw the bitter memories into the fire and let them burn to ash. You are stepping into the profound light. This is the exact moment I have been holding for you. Everything up to this sentence was the painful preparation. From this sentence forward, it is the glorious manifestation. I am not softening this message so you can comfortably ignore it tomorrow morning. I am declaring it with absolute authority so it shatters every lie the enemy has planted in your mind. lift your head right now. I am about to say the name of the thing that is returning to your house. I am going to speak it so clearly that your spirit will instantly recognize the sound of its approach. Do not pull back into the shadows. Do not cover your ears because you are afraid to believe it. Stand up inside the magnificent truth I am handing you. The long night of weeping is over. The dawn is screaming your name. Hear me right now in the very place where you make your deepest choices. You thought the beautiful promise died in the silent years, but it was only hidden from the loud noise of the world. I am giving it back to you. I am restoring the exact portion you bravely surrendered. The long wait is finally over. You learned to live without it rather than become bitter. I saw you make that brave and terrible choice. But because you stayed faithful in the dark, I am moving you out of the lonely room of coping and into the bright room of receiving. You will no longer brace for disappointment. You will open your tired hands. The poverty of your spirit is permanently cancelled. The thing coming toward you is not a cheap replica of what you lost. It is the original magnificent design. I took the shattered pieces of your old hope and I built an impenetrable fortress out of them so you could be safe. What you receive today cannot be stolen by ordinary thieves. It is completely secured by my own sovereign command. Every second you continue listening is pulling that reality closer to your physical door. The old toxic agreement with defeat is breaking inside your chest right now. Do not walk away from this screen. Stay here with me while the final heavy chains fall off, because this delicate process requires your absolute and undivided attention. Do not close your eyes. Now I must give you a very serious instruction. I have handed the beautiful portion back to you, but a massive gift placed in a closed fist will simply fall to the floor, and you will walk away with absolutely nothing. You have to actively choose to drop your heavy armor. If you firmly refuse to soften your heart, you will miss the miracle entirely. You cannot carry the bitter cynicism of the winter into the bright warmth of the spring. It will spoil the glorious harvest before you even taste it. I am warning you because I love you fiercely, and I do not want you to ruin the profound blessing I just delivered. You must evict the deep fear today. If you leave this place and go back to your familiar numbness, there is a terrible cost. You will spend another long year begging for the exact beautiful thing that was freely sitting on your table tonight. I am standing between you and that tragic outcome. I am not moving. Do not push past my protecting arm to go back to the familiar dark. The brutal price of keeping your heart locked is simply too high. It costs you the very future you wept for. I will not force the heavy door open if you insist on holding it shut from the inside, but I am telling you that the room you are guarding is already empty. Step out of the lonely wreckage right now. You are incredibly safe with me. The restored portion is not going to suddenly disappear when you finally let your guard down. I do not play cruel games with the fragile hearts of my faithful children. I am a perfectly loving father who keeps his absolute word, and I will never leave you standing out in the cold. Open the front door and let the good things enter. Listen to the deep pounding in your own chest. That is the beautiful sound of life rushing back into a place that was dormant for 7 years. Let it beat wildly. Do not try to calm yourself down to look acceptable to the outside world, because the cynical world did not bleed with you. The world does not get to dictate your joy. I have declared it, and it is entirely finished. The heavy season of mere survival is officially over. The magnificent season of profound receiving has boldly begun. You are no longer the silent keeper of an empty room, but you are the rightful heir of a promise that is older than your name. Claim your proper seat at the table. Look at your trembling hands right now. They are no longer clutching the dead ashes of your former crushing disappointments. They are completely open and ready for the massive weight of my profound glory. The exhausting days of begging for small crumbs are permanently behind you, and you will feast on the incredible abundance I have carefully prepared. So I tell you one last time to drop the heavy shield. Let the terrifying vulnerability wash over you. It feels frightening because it is entirely new to your system, but vulnerability is the only atmosphere where true lasting miracles can actually breathe. And if you hide behind the thick wall again, you will suffocate the blessing. Choose the frightening light. Do not turn back to the comfortable sadness. The sadness is a familiar friend, but it is a terrible master. You have outgrown the tiny space it gave you to live in. Walk forward into the blinding glare of my perfect love. because I am walking right beside you and I will not let you stumble. You are perfectly held in my hands. You are stepping across the final border right now. Every breath you take is a beautiful declaration of your brand new life. The enemy is watching you leave his territory, and he cannot do a single thing to stop you from crossing over. The great restoration is no longer a distant rumor. It is the solid ground beneath your very feet. I am speaking to you with this urgency because the alternative is simply too painful to watch. If you rebuild that heavy wall today, you will lock out the very peace you have been crying for. The world will not tell you this. The loud noise around you wants you to stay perfectly numb. I want you fully alive and breathing. Do not choose the familiar dark over the unfamiliar light. The cost of hiding is your entire future. Come closer to me now. The loud commanding is finished and the teaching is entirely complete. We are stepping into the quiet part of the evening where nothing is demanded of you. Set down your heavy armor. Put away the anxious thoughts about tomorrow and the bitter regrets about yesterday. You do not need them here. Let me speak over you the way a father speaks to a very tired child. I bless the empty spaces in your tired life. I command the deep sorrow to permanently leave your house. May the mornings stop feeling like a heavy mountain you have to climb all by yourself. You will wake up and the air in your room will feel totally different. Peace will settle over your anxious mind like a warm blanket. The frantic racing in your chest will finally slow down. I pour fresh oil over the dry and exhausted places in your soul. The years that the locusts ate are being repaid to you in full. You will watch the broken pieces of your family slowly come back together. You will see impossible situations resolve themselves without you having to fight a single battle. I am fighting the heavy wars for you now. You only have to stand still and watch me work. You will walk through your days with a quiet confidence that confuses the people around you. They will wonder how you survived the crushing blow without turning bitter and cold. You will not need to explain the miracle to them. The profound rest in your eyes will be the only testimony you ever need to give. You are completely safe now. The violent storm has officially passed over your head. I promised you one more thing earlier in this message. I told you there was a final piece I was holding back until the very end. The last thing I kept is not another difficult assignment or a heavy rule you have to follow. It is a single beautiful truth about your true identity. Listen closely to this. The restoration is not coming because you finally earned it through perfect behavior. The beautiful portion is returning simply because you are mine. Your absolute worth was never attached to how well you carried the heavy burden. You are loved because you exist, and for no other reason at all. That is the missing piece you could never quite believe. You spent your whole life trying to buy a love that was always completely free. You can stop paying the terrible toll today. You have survived the brutal winter of the soul. The bitter cold did not destroy your incredibly resilient spirit. It only killed the shallow roots so that the deep ones could finally take hold. You are blooming in a season where everyone expected you to wither and die. Your profound joy will be a massive beacon to the people wandering in the dark. Let your brilliant light shine out. Because you learned to live without it rather than become bitter, I am moving you out of the room of coping. You are stepping right into the room of receiving. You will no longer brace for disappointment every time a good thing happens. You will open your hands and let the blessing actually land. The deep poverty of your spirit is permanently cancelled. You are walking in absolute abundance. I am with you in the quiet kitchen. I am with you in the car when you cry alone. I have always been standing right beside you. I will never leave your side for a single second. Lift your tired head up right now. Do not look back at the tragic ruins of the past season. Walk forward into the brand new light. Step into the beautiful day. The message is completely finished. Now you have to make a physical decision to agree with it. A truth that stays hidden in your head can easily be stolen by the enemy tomorrow morning. But a truth that you declare out loud becomes a solid wall that the enemy cannot penetrate. I want you to claim this restoration publicly. It is time to leave a permanent mark on this specific day. Type, "I receive what was restored," in the comments below. Do it right now and let this place know you stayed all the way to the end. I read exactly what my beloved children write. When you type those words, you are signing a brand new agreement with heaven. You are officially accepting the beautiful portion that was kept safe for you. The empty room is finally full. You are greatly loved and deeply cherished. Go in absolute peace. I am walking right beside you.